So before he goes into a discussion of karma yoga, he wants to make a distinction between the karma yoga, the action yoga. He's going to teach him Vedic ritualism, which is also uses the word karma. You do your karma, you do engage in karma for in the Vedic period means the performance of Vedic ritualism primarily, and then it develops to involve the civic order that supports the Vedic sacrifice. The Vedic sacrifice is central to Vedic culture. Performance of the Vedic sacrifice is central, and for that you need then a civic order, you need brahmanas and warriors and merchants and the workforce to support a society. But the central pivot of that is the Vedic sacrifice. So they would use mīmāṁsa in the earliest period. Karma meant the actions pertaining to the ritual, and then it expanded to mean one's duties, all of which would have revolved around the Vedic ritual was the mainstay of Vedic culture. Okay, so we know the mīmāṁsas. We had a little look at the mīmāṁsas. I'm actually going to add a section on the Mīmāṁsa Sutra after this course. You won't have to, students of this course won't need to study it, but I did have it originally. If you looked at the old syllabus, it was there. I think we had one session on the Mīmāṁsa Sutra just to get a flavor of that, but we couldn't fit it in at the end. So I took it out, but I'm going to add it in just so that the course online is a complete course. So 42 to 43. O Partha, the ignorant who delight in the mere words of the Vedas. What does he mean by that? You know, the Vedas that say, well, if you want this, if you want a child, you do this ritual. If you want this material boon, you do some other ritual. These are the words. Contend that there's nothing more than this. They say, look, the Vedas are eternal. This is the Mīmāṁsas, right? The injunctions of the Vedas are eternal. We have to do Vedic ritual just because that is our eternal dharma, as expressed in the eternal sacred books, the Vedas. And for Mīmāṁsa, unlike the Vedantins are interested in the Upanishads, remember, the descriptive books that describe the Atman and urge us to seek the Atman. The Vedas that the Mīmāṁsa tradition is interested in are injunctions. Thou must, thou shalt. Perform these various sacrifices. There's daily sacrifices, there's sacrifices that are incumbent. You know, there's nitya, naimita, kamya, different kinds of sacrifices, the ones that are performed on a daily basis by Brahmins, the ones that are performed on certain ceremonial occasions like the equinoxes and so forth. And then there's sacrifices, the third type, kamya, which are done according to one has a particular desire. You don't have to do these ones, but, you know, let's say you have a desire for a child, then a Brahman will perform a yajna specific to that desire. They're called kamya, the third type, which are optional. So these are all flowery words. You want this, you do this sacrifice. You have some other desire that needs fulfilling, do something else, some other sacrifice. So they speak flowery words and perform rituals for enjoyment and power. You know what do you get from these rituals? Well, you try to get the fulfillment of your desires. That's enjoyment and power. It might be rituals for kings to, before battle and so on. So, which simply lead to rebirth. These rituals are all bound by the law of karma, and therefore they produce results. And even if you do your rituals perfectly, Mīmāṁsa would say, you go to the celestial realm, right? So you get a good birth. Yoga is not interested in that, as we will see. Such fools meaning they neglect their Atman in the pursuit of these desires that they try to attain through the rituals. Such fools, there's quite strong language here, verse 42 to 43, are full of desires and are intent on heaven alone. This is not the Christian heaven, remember, this is celestial realm. Those whose hearts have been stolen by such speech, the flowery words of the Vedas, the enticing words of the Vedas, come, 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 say the fires. That's even in the Upanishads. Come, 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 say the flames. Come, pour your oblations. We'll give you this, we'll give you that. Do your rituals. You'll get all these boons. So these are flowery words. Those whose hearts have been stolen by such speech, who are attached to enjoyment and power, because that's all you can get from Vedic ritualism. You can't get liberation or love of God or bhakti or moksha. What do you get? You just get boons. At best, you go to the celestial realm in the next life. They fail to develop a determined intellect, determined to seek the Atman, or even concentration of mind. They can't even keep their mind fixed. Their minds are constantly running around thinking of desires. The subject matter of the Vedas relates to the three gunas. It relates to material things. Everything, the three gunas means the world of matter. The subject matter of the Veda is not the Atman, which is beyond the three gunas. And then Krishna says the Vedas relate to the three gunas. Transcend these gunas. You have to go beyond that, which means you have to turn your back on the words of the Vedas, even though they're sacred text. Rise above duality, right? Good, bad, happiness, distress. Go beyond that to a place of eternal, pure consciousness. Fix yourself nitya sattva stha. Fix yourself in goodness, in sattva. What's the Sanskrit? Nitya sattva stho, which is really staha. Become free from striving and possession. Right? I want to attain this desire, that desire. I want to own this. I want to gain that. And focus on the soul alone. Right? This is what the yogis, they don't use never-ending search for desires which never fulfill, they never satisfy.